The Mormon settlement of St. Thomas was once a stopping point between Los Angeles and Salt Lake City, Utah. When Lake Mead was first filled in the 1930s, the ghost town became submerged. Located along the muddy river that feeds into Lake Mead, the town once had a population of around 500 people, but lacked water and electricity. Today, due to low water levels, some of town's remains can be seen. According to the National Park Service.In 1931, less than 100,000 people lived in Nevada, and the population of Clark County was around 8,500. In February 1935, Lake Mead began to fill to over 700 feet, according to the National Park Service. In 2021, Lake Mead reached its lowest point since the 1930s. Lake Mead became the first national recreation area in 1936. Lake Mead's water level reached an elevation of 1220 feet in July 1941. In 1947, Boulder Dam Recreation Area was renamed to Lake Mead National Recreation Area, after Dr. Elwood Mead, the former commissioner of the Bureau of Reclamation.The population of the Clark County doubled between 1940 and 1950. By the end of the decade, the lake declined to 1170 feet. In 1952, the Davis Dam, which created Lake Mohave, was completed. The population of Clark County tripled between 1950 and 1960, to over 127,000 people. In March 1956, Lake Mead's elevation dropped to 1083 feet.1960 seconds. Lake Mead water treatment is created in the 1960s. The Las Vegas Valley Water District began designing a two-stage water system to treat water from Lake Mead for Las Vegas residents. Lake elevation went from 1165 feet in January 1960 to 1152 in December 1969.1970 seconds. Lake Mead sees historic high water levels. The 1970s kicked off 2 decades of high elevations at Lake Mead, lasting until the late 1990s. At the start of the decade, Lake Mead's elevation was 11